Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dietitians. My name is JeJe Noval and I'm a registered dietitian who is also a faculty member at Loma Linda University. I have the awesome privilege of being one of the many teachers of these amazing graduate students. So let's take a minute now to just ask them a few questions about each one of them. First, we will start off with Lisa McDermott.
Thank you.
Hello, Lisa. Please tell us where you are from and what made you decide to pursue a career in nutrition and dietetics.
Well, I'm from Southern California, born and raised.
Yes.
The reason I got into dietetics was because I wanted to help people be healthy through food.
Awesome.
So that's why I chose a degree in nutrition and dietetics.
And that's exactly the same reason why I decided to become a dietitian too. And next we have Nicole Weber. Nicole, please tell us where you are from and why did you decide on Loma Linda University to be the place to obtain your education?
I really love the concept of wholeness that Loma Linda offers, and all the staff and the campus is very warm and inviting and also professional.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you. And to my left, we have Jenny Chen. And Jenny, once you have the RD credentials after your name, what is your ultimate goal or dream job to land?
My ultimate goal is to work as a CDE in a private sector because I believe building up relationship with patient can help the healing process.
And what is CDE?
CDE is Certified Diabetic Educator.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you. And last but not least, Ms. Ann Kronebusch. Please tell us where you are from and what are your plans for the future? Once you are a registered dietitian, do you plan to stay in the area here in Loma Linda, the Inland Empire, and land a job here, or do you plan to fly the coop?
Well, I'm from San Jose, California, and I love Southern California, so I probably, who knows, I'll maybe stay in the area. I could go to San Diego.
Yeah.
It's up in the air, we'll see.
Okay, so. Wonderful. And any job sightings that you would like once
Similar to Jenny, I really want to be a certified diabetic educator, so
Excellent.
We'll see.
Great, wonderful. Well, I'm going to turn the time over to them and stay tuned and see what good things they have to share with you today.
As student dietitians, we get asked a lot of questions, especially about fad diets. Today we want to debunk the myths and go from fad to fit. I know which questions I get asked a lot, but what about you guys? What fad diets do you hear about a lot or get asked about a lot?
You know what, I actually have a friend who just started the South Beach diet, and she asked me to prepare a couple of meals for her for a party she was having. And to be honest, while I was preparing them, I just was shocked at why somebody would want to follow a diet that eliminates food groups.
Yeah.
So true. And Lisa, not only does it eliminate food groups, it has 3 different phases you have to follow. So in the first phase of the South Beach diet, it eliminates a lot of high carbohydrate foods, but some of those include a lot of fruits and vegetables. The second phase, you get to reintroduce a few of those fruits and vegetables, but it still is cutting out a lot of the food groups. The final stage of the South Beach diet, you do incorporate all the foods back, but it's still in moderation. So technically this diet really does eliminate whole food groups of fruits and vegetables for a short amount of time.
Yeah, but you see, I see some benefit about this diet. It actually boosts the unsaturated fat content and actually lower the trans fat and saturated fat.
That's a good point. Anytime you can lower the trans fat and saturated fat is huge. Apart from the South Beach diet, what other diets have you guys heard a lot about?
Paleo diet.
The paleo diet.
I've also heard a lot about the juicing diet.
You know what? You guys are so correct because in the media, out in public, everybody seems to be doing a fad diet, and the paleo and the juicing are 2 that I hear about all the time. And for those who aren't familiar with the paleo diet, it's a diet that proposes we eat like our ancestors, the cavemen. So that means a diet high in grass-fed beef and meats, fresh caught fish, tree nuts, vegetables, roots, fruits, and berries.
Huge problem, though, is that it leaves out complete food groups, such as dairy, legumes, whole grains, sugar, processed oil, and my favorite, potatoes. I feel so bad for the poor potato. I mean, it's getting such a bad name, but it's really how you cook it. And obviously, if you cook it fry it, it's gonna not be so healthy. But if you bake it, it can be a huge source of vitamin C, fiber, potassium. It's actually pretty healthy.
Absolutely. I think the potato is getting just wiped out off of every plate in America anymore just because of its bad rap.
Yeah.
I see some advantages about this diet. The amount of fruits and vegetables that increase is definitely beneficial to our body.
It's true. Another benefit is so many Americans consume high amounts of salt and sugar today. So this diet does limit that amount. We only need 1 teaspoon, 2,300 milligrams per day. And the average of what people intake is up to 4,000 milligrams.
So high.
Yeah, it's really high.
And that's actually a good point because 35% of typical American diet is consisted with solid fats and added sugar. And ideally, only 5 to 10% should be recommended.
Good point, ladies. Those are great advantages. Both advantages come with disadvantages, and the paleo diet encourages animal products, which tend to be high in saturated fat. Saturated fat has been shown to be a risk factor for cardiovascular disease and should be reduced.
Yeah. And you know what? Not only is it high in the saturated fat, again, another problem is that it avoids food groups.
Yeah.
One specifically is dairy. And as we know, dairy is a good source of protein, calcium, vitamin D, and other minerals and vitamins that we need.
It also completely eliminates grains and legumes, and that's a huge source of dietary fiber.
Yeah, so when we can reach our consensus that spare the paleo diet
Get rid of it.
and keep the high intake of vegetable and fruits and low intake of salt and sugar.
So another diet that I know has been huge is the juicing diet, especially among celebrities, which I'm a huge celebrity fan. It's just huge. I feel like everyone's on the juicing diet.
Oh, I have to agree. I think every time I turn on the TV and hear about a celebrity award show, some actresses do the juicing diet to fit into a dress, et cetera, et cetera. So I definitely think that it's really popular. And not only is it popular, it kind of varies, have you noticed, among different people. Everybody takes maybe a slightly different approach, but the premise is that you will avoid a meal and replace it with vegetable and fruit juices, and that's it. And it could be one meal, it could be multiple meals.
Yeah. And although there are some benefits with the juicing diet of, yes, the weight loss because it's reduction of calories and the added vitamins, it takes out the whole pulp and fiber of the fruits and vegetables. So you're really getting high amounts of natural sugar, which leave people really tired and hungry and cranky.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to be around too many cranky friends.
Yes.
But even for smoothie, we don't recommend substituting more than one meal. And also, with those smoothies, it's important to cover all the bases, including fruits, vegetable, protein.
Good point, Jenny. So now that we've kind of talked about a few, unhealthy diets, let's talk about what a healthy diet consists of. We're just going to give you a few tips of what a healthy diet is. First of all, a healthy diet should not exclude any macronutrient or food group. It's kind of funny how trends work. They always tend to exclude some macronutrient. Like in the past, it used to be the fat that was the bad guy. Nowadays, it's the carbohydrates. And it's really unfortunate because you really do need a balanced diet. You need the carbs, you need the fat, you need the protein. Also, a healthy diet should have the dairy, the protein sources, the whole grains, the legumes. Can even have some healthy fat, the dairy. I don't know if I left anything out.
I think you make a good point about the healthy fat because there are still people who avoid all fat because fat can still have a bad rap. But the healthy fats we need for our bodies and the beneficial.
Yeah.
So that's a good point to make.
So true. Second really good point that we want to make is moderation and portion control is key. I mean, today in restaurants and fast food places, meals feed now 2 to 4 people.
Yeah.
It's no longer just one serving size. So helpful hints would be split a meal with the person you're with, take half of it home. You're never obligated to eat the whole meal. And a lot of restaurants now are having the calorie count and nutrition facts on the menu so you can know exactly how much your portion size will be and how many calories you're getting before you order.
I actually like one of the points that you made about taking something home. I know when I was raised, it was clean your plate. But now that the plate size is much larger and there's more food there, I can't even imagine, cleaning your plate with three or four servings.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. And the third option would be to eat a variety of foods. And not only just a variety of different foods, but a variety of colors. Because we all know with the colorful foods, you get your vitamins and minerals. So eat your reds, your oranges, like your carrots, your greens, variety and color equal vitamins and minerals. So eat your rainbow.
I love the idea of eating your rainbow. But isn't it hard to remember each different group of food that you need to combine in your meal? I'm sure that most of the people are acquainted with my pyramid, but my pyramid has too many food groups that you need to remember. So my plate diet is the one that nowadays that we should use. It's actually is a basis for 4/4 of the section on your plate, and it's so easy to remember. Just remember 1/4 of vegetable, 1/4 of fruits, and 1/4 of grains, and 1/4 of protein. With added 1 fat portion, you actually can complete the My Plate diet. Isn't that easy to remember?
It
It's a really
is.
easy
It's a great
tip
model.
for people to use. Yeah.
Good bottle, yeah.
It
definitely.
is. Thank you so much, Jenny, for explaining that to us.
You're very welcome.
And why don't we go over some healthy recipe ideas? So first off, what I'm going to be demonstrating is a healthy smoothie. So with the smoothie, whatever goes in is going to stay in. So with the fruit and vegetables, the pulp and the fiber, you're going to get, as well as we're going to be adding some milk and Greek yogurt, which will add some good protein. So starting off, and could you please help me add 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt?
Sure. Lately, I've been obsessed with Greek yogurt. It's such a great source of protein. Has twice the amount of protein as regular yogurt and just keeps you fuller longer, which is just great.
Are you obsessed with yogurt? No.
They all know.
That's okay. Greek yogurt's a good ingredient.
Thank you so much, Anne. And then Jenny, could you please add 1 cup of berries?
Sure. Here's 1 cup of frozen berries. You can either put it fresh or frozen. You know what this berry has? It actually have full of antioxidant and dietary fibers. So what does antioxidant do? Antioxidant actually neutralize the free radicals in your body, which prevent the aging process, and also dietary fiber maintain your GI health, which is your #1 defense.
I think as women too, we like to defy
Yeah.
aging. Make sure we
As
have
much as
berries.
possible.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jenny. And Lisa, could you please add 1 cup of spinach?
Absolutely. I love spinach, and I love the fact that you're adding spinach to the smoothie. Spinach is a good source of calcium, vitamin A, vitamin K, iron, and folate. Are there any other vegetables that you would add besides spinach?
Yes. I also really love to add kale in my smoothies.
Ooh, that's a
It
good
blends
one.
up really well, and it's another vegetable you could add. Okay, great. Now that we have those added, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of flax meal. And with flax meal, you want to make sure you either buy flax meal or buy the flax seeds and grind them yourself, because your body cannot digest the whole seed. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. Chia seeds are a great source of omega-3 and fiber, as well as the flaxseed.
Now, do you have to grind the chia seeds or?
Chia seeds you can eat whole,
Okay.
just how they come store-bought. We're going to top this off with our 1.5 cup of soy milk. And I really like the concept of adding soy milk or regular milk to get the added protein. This one is also sweetened, so it adds some good flavor. You can use any milk alternative, almond or rice milk as well, but it will have a little bit of less protein. And if you do not do sweetened milk, you can add a little bit of honey. So we are going to blend this up, and then we'll all get to sample it. So
Ooh, my favorite food.
I'm going to give it a little shake. Okay, so quick and easy. This could be a great breakfast or meal substitute for lunch or dinner or snacks throughout the day.
Oh, it looks delicious.
Yeah, and I even
smell it.
sometimes will blend this up, have half of it or just a little bit of it, and then put the rest in the fridge and have that for later.
That's good. And can you freeze it? Does it freeze well?
You can freeze it, and even sometimes I'll add bananas to it so it has a little bit more of an ice cream type of texture to it.
That's a really good idea.
I think it'd be a good dessert option.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Excited to
Okay,
try.
and
Let's
see what you
try it.
think. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going for it. It's really good.
And you can't even tell that there's a vegetable in there.
No, and it's
It
nice and
is.
creamy from the Greek yogurt.
And I
Really
like the
good.
thicker consistency so you feel fuller instead of the juicing where it's just a complete
And then
liquid.
you're hungry in 20 minutes.
It tastes like heaven.
Thank you so
Really
much,
good.
Nicole. I actually think I have a new favorite breakfast option now.
Very good.
what we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you a healthy recipe that could be used for lunch or for dinner. And what it is, it's a millet vegetable salad. It's kind of a spin-off of a pasta salad. Now in the paleo diet, which we all discussed earlier, a very popular option would be salads. So we have chicken salads or any various meats that they put on the salad. But the problem is, even though they may look healthy and they might taste great, the fundamental problem, as we've talked about, is that they leave out food groups. So we're going to go ahead and go over a salad that doesn't leave out any food groups. And like I said, it is close to a pasta salad. Now, okay, I was raised Italian, so my grandmother would probably have a heart attack if she knew that I was swapping out pasta for a grain. Grandma, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I love you, but millet's a good grain too. So we're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cups of cooked millet.
Now, you say cooked millet. How do you cook the millet? Is it similar to rice, or what's the proportion of water to millet?
Good question, Anne. If you're not familiar with cooking millet, it actually cooks pretty much the same as rice would cook. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you'd have 1 cup of millet to 2 cups of liquid. I use vegetable stock, but you could use chicken stock, you could use water, whatever liquid you like. Any one of them work. And then we're going to go ahead and also make sure that it's not clumped up. We want it to separate nicely. Now, this is what millet looks like in its raw form. It's an ancient grain that was farmed more than 10,000 years ago, and it was actually revered as one of the 5 sacred ingredients in China. So it's gonna, we have, yes, popular grain
Chinese.
over here. And it's high in fiber, and it has 7 grams of protein per serving. So next, we're going to go ahead and add our favorite ingredient of the day. So 2 cups of baby spinach, if it wants to come out, which it doesn't.
And Lisa, with these vegetables that you're going to be adding in, like let's say with the spinach, would you do kale or any other vegetable alternatives?
You know what? You can do any vegetable you would like. I have pretty much thrown in any vegetable that I had on hand from my freezer. I've used squash, I've used eggplant, I've used asparagus, cauliflower, broccoli, you name it, it's gone in.
Okay, great.
So it's very, very versatile. We're going to go ahead and add in, I have a half of a cucumber that I've peeled and diced, so we're going to go ahead and add that in. And we're going to then add in, thank you, we're going to add in 2 carrots that we have peeled and diced. And these are all raw. Now we're going to go ahead and add in the tomato. Nicole, do you want to go ahead and add the tomato in?
Yes,
Go
yeah,
ahead
I would
and
love to do that.
Mix this. Now this was 1 Roma tomato that I've diced.
And I love adding tomatoes to any type of meal, especially with the vibrance of the color that it adds.
You can see the color already.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and it's a great
colorful.
source of potassium and magnesium.
Okay, now here is one of my all-time favorite ingredients. One of my favorite vegetables, roasted bell pepper. I already pre-roasted them, and then I peeled them and diced them. And I love bell pepper because when they're roasted, it's a really sweet flavor. Absolutely delicious. Okay, let's go ahead and mix that up. And you can see now we have our greens, our orange, our red.
And
We're
now,
gonna-
do you add vinegar or any dressing inside?
We will add a dressing at the end. And actually, Jenny, if you want to go ahead and help me out and go ahead and grab the sunflower seeds
Sunflower
and
seeds.
the cran raisins. We have half a cup each.
Here you go.
Toss it in. Thank you.
And do you guys know that the sunflower seed is a really good source for pantothenic acid and vitamin E and vitamin B complex? And it's also a good monosaturated fat to raise your good cholesterol and decrease your bad cholesterol.
Fabulous. Okay, now, of course, we cannot forget our dairy food group. So what I have is half a cup of feta, and it's just crumbled. We're going to go ahead and add that in.
Now, for those of us who don't like, I call it feta. I know I say it wrong, but I'm stuck to it. For those of us who don't like feta, whatever, can you use a different cheese?
Even though feta is better, no, that's okay. You can use actually any cheese you want. You can use mozzarella, you can use Parmesan, Asiago, Romano. It doesn't really matter. Of course, again, being Italian, I tend to stick with the Italian cheeses, but Grandma, any cheese will work. It's okay. All right. Now we are going to dress our salad.
This is my
And will you go ahead and
I sure will.
add our dressing? And we have a balsamic vinaigrette. It's just a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil.
And you want to shake it because right now it's separated. So I'll shake up with it
And so
everywhere.
Lisa, if I don't like balsamic vinegar, what kind of dressing I can use instead?
Well, the good thing is you could use anything. So you could do a lemon vinaigrette where you would do lemon juice and olive oil. You could do an Italian. You can go ahead and
I don't wanna put too
let's
much.
see.
That
Oh, you
sounds
can
really
never have
nice.
too much balsamic. Keep pouring. A little bit more.
All right.
All right, there we
Oh.
go. We're good.
All right. And the olive oil in the dressing is also a great source of monounsaturated fat, which, as Jenny said, will decrease your LDL or bad cholesterol and increase your HDL or good cholesterol.
Perfect. And the great thing about this salad is it's really versatile. So again, you could swap out any vegetables you want. You can see how colorful it is. We got our oranges, our reds, our greens, we got our grains, our dairy. So you can swap out anything. Like I said, whatever vegetable is in my fridge can go in my salad. It's very fast,
Awesome.
very simple,
Looks
and
beautiful.
very healthy. Would you guys like to know what the difference is for the nutritional quality?
Of course.
Sure.
Can you try it?
All right.
Yeah.
Let's taste
I
it
just
and then
taste
I
it.
will go over.
And Lisa, while you're dishing us up, I want to share a little bit about the nutrition facts on our smoothie compared to the juicing.
Oh, perfect.
Our smoothie was 200 calories, and this serves 2. And we got 5 grams of fiber in that. So that was definitely
Amazing.
added
Yeah.
with having
Yeah.
the whole fruits and
Very
vegetables.
nice. Thank you.
And also
You're
15 grams of protein from the Greek yogurt and
That's
the soy
really
milk.
good.
All right, we are almost
This looks
done. And also
great.
with this salad, you could swap out any grain you wanted. Again, Grandma, sorry, we don't always have to use pasta. You could use farro, you could use barley, you could use rice. So any one of them will work, or even quinoa.
Oh, the
is
wholesome
great.
salad. Rainbow colors,
That's right. Remember to eat your rainbow.
all the food groups. It completes the My Plate diet.
So let's see how it stacks up with our chicken salad from the paleo diet. So the veggie salad has 220 fewer calories than the chicken salad. Yeah. It has 8 grams of fat less than the chicken salad from the paleo. And it has, more importantly, not only just 8 grams of fat that's less, it has 6 grams of fat fewer that are saturated fat.
Awesome.
And then 2 important things we've talked about, cholesterol and sodium. It has 135 milligrams less in cholesterol than the paleo diet, and 250 milligrams less in sodium. So we're knocking down the 4,000
Yes, back into
per
the
day.
2300 range.
Yeah, getting us closer to the 2,300 range. So,
It's definitely delicious.
This
I
is
would definitely eat
excellent.
this.
Yeah, it's
and
really
this you
light.
can keep in the fridge because you can eat it cold. You don't have to eat it warm. You can put it in the fridge. What I usually do, partly because I love pasta salad or any type of salad, I'll make a big batch, put it in the fridge, and eat it for the next couple of days.
That's a
So,
great idea.
yeah.
And it also helps you plan, like, eat healthy for the week is by making it, say, on Sunday or whenever
Yeah.
you can. And
And I think that's one of the important things you bring up about making something that's healthy, that's really easy. There's a lot of people that don't think they have the time to eat healthy. And as you can see, it doesn't really take a lot of time to cut up vegetables.
So true.
I think it takes more time to, make a long drawn dinner with, mashed potatoes and the meat and your bread. So this is a really easy, simple recipe that, again, you can just pop in the fridge when you're done
yeah.
and take it out later.
No, definitely
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah, this is great.
Definitely
Yeah.
delicious. Well, we hope we have debunked some of the myths and gone from fad to fit. These are definitely great recipes that I encourage everyone to try because they're both delicious and nutritious. So yeah, thanks for joining us.
Ladies, this looks wonderful. I hope I get to try some afterwards.
have some for you.
I am their teacher, don't I deserve to have a little bit? Well, we have a few minutes left. So going back to those fad diets, if someone came up to you and said, I have a friend that has been following that particular fad diet and they've actually lost weight, how would you address that? I know you all want to talk at
Yeah,
once.
I think there's a real important fact to consider with fad diets is the quicker you lose the weight, the harder it is to keep it off. So although they might lose the weight right away, we do want lifestyle change. So we don't want just a quick cutting out food groups, fad diet, lose the weight, and then have the weight regained very short and sometimes even more weight than what was lost.
I'm going to piggyback on what you said.
Yes, please piggyback. Piggyback. That's what I'm here to
Because
do.
you brought up lifestyle, and that's a really important factor. a fad diet is just that. It's a fad.
Right.
How long does it last? You give 2 months and there will be a new fad diet that comes out. Whereas if you just live a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, eat a balanced meal,
Exactly.
there's not much thought that goes into it. It becomes habit, and it's just so much easier. And for me, it's so much easier to eat that way than think about, okay, what food can I not have? If you do go out to a restaurant, you have to ask or look through the ingredient list. What does this have? What does this not have in it?
Right.
Yeah.
And I
So-
think it's important to note that if you are trying to lose weight, it should be a gradual thing. It shouldn't be like a lot with these fad diets. You lose weight like this, but then like Nicole said, is you gain more back. But if you do it the healthy way and you lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, I mean, you could keep that off for life,
Right. So for those who are losing a lot of weight in a short amount of time, what are they losing? Are they truly losing fat weight, or what is it they're losing?
They
If
are
the
losing
scales
their
are.
muscle. They are losing their muscle.
They can
Is
lose
it
their muscle
muscle
mass and they
or-
lose a lot of water initially.
Water, yes, it's
And if
that,
they're not exercising,
exactly.
they'll lose whatever muscle mass they'll start to lose that. But that's why
That's right.
exercising and eating healthy is just
Key.
The
that
way
is
to
just
go.
key. Yeah.
Yes,
There
exactly.
really is no magic bullet for
Yeah.
dieting.
There
Yeah.
isn't.
It's
And
a matter of eating healthy.
it is. It definitely is. And whenever anybody comes to you in the future and says, but I've tried this and I've tried that, and yes, I do lose weight, the bottom denominator is that, well, yes, as you have mentioned, they cut out a food group, so that means they're just really cutting back on calories. So it's really cutting back portion control. It's still the tried and true portion control, just cutting back on those calories here and there, and that really makes a difference in losing weight. So
And
it's not
because of
anything.
motivation.
Yes.
If you lose weight initially and then you get on the high, and then once you stop, you're not
Right.
motivated. So if you just eat a proper balanced diet the whole way through,
Yeah,
I think it's more
from the beginning.
satisfying.
Oh, it definitely is. It's so true. And I love the shakes or your
thank
smoothies.
you.
And does it eventually turn green because you had put a green vegetable in there? Does it keep its color?
No, this is a great way actually to disguise your vegetables. Even with family or children that you have, it blends up and it does not show.
Now,
Yeah.
I said, so any way you can sneak in
Yep.
vegetables,
It's a
Great idea.
Of course, I don't like to deceive people, and I'll give it to them, but then let them know, hey,
Yeah.
you did have
Yes.
some vegetables,
Yeah,
and you
definitely.
enjoyed it.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so,
tell them afterwards. That's the key.
Yeah,
Because
afterwards
after
is the
they
key.
like it, then you can
you
have
got
it
them
there.
sold. Yeah, but I believe that deception is not a good thing. It won't go over. They'll come back to you 20 years later. Your kids will say, Mom, you didn't tell me I had vegetables. So it's good to be upfront from the beginning, as we all said. Even just as you're wanting to lose weight from the beginning, it's good to get those eating habits set at the beginning so that those good habits stay on permanently. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on The Dietitians.